Let's start with the breakdown. Made a challenging game for players, substantiated by tests. So my game is a platformer. This is a pretty basic design document where the player first starts off in a hub. And then there's 3 levels that the player will go through, each becoming more difficult. The first one will only have one type of enemy, that's just a fire on the ground that you have to dodge, and if you stand on it for too long, you will die. The second one will introduce moving platforms or moving objects that you will need to use to advance in the level, along with the fire. And the third one also introduces a gravitational pull, making it harder to jump from platform to platform. This was just the testing phase, and then obviously in Unity they've been implemented. As you can see, all of the levels are here, and these have been substantiated by my design documents and playtests from 4 different people. Most of them liked the levels, except for the third one, where the gravity was way off. In the first few drafts of the game, the gravity would always pull the player towards it. Now it only pulls you towards the center of a black hole when you're in midair. Implemented functional mechanics that enhance the story. Yep. So in the story, it's pretty much there's 3 runes that hold all of reality together. When the runes get stolen, reality is all mixed up, all messed up. So the things have weirdly different skills. Like this is really big, for example, even though it's a small trash bin. Usually, gravity doesn't work anymore. Everything is just messed up within the game, which is kind of the whole point. And then you restore the balance, and it fixes everything. So that does enhance the story, applied storytelling principles for an engaging narrative. I just have a game where you talk to NPCs, they give you some dialogue, they kind of explain to you what happens in the game, why certain things are the way they are, why you're doing things to make it engaging. I'll show that in the gameplay in a little bit. Implemented UI and UX, designed the principles effectively. Yes. Designed UI that complements the narrative and theme. At first it was really basic, with just, I have it in the screenshot here, with just kind of this, and then later on I actually made the UI work and have it be like kind of futuristic sci-fi themed, because it is kind of inspired by something like Guardians of the Galaxy, the movie. It's like a sort of sci-fi theme where not every place is as advanced as another, so we have more different themes. So yeah. Produce seamless audio loops in a well-balanced mix. Yes, I have. The game uses different forms of audio for multiple things, and I have put them in an audio mixer. As you can see, I have different groups for different things. I have music. Here's another one, music and sound effects that I have used in the game, so I could mix them during gameplay, get them working correctly. The audio does loop, except for when you load a different level, but it's just Unity. I will show you that in the gameplay as well. Aligned audio with the visual narrative to enhance the gameplay. I just did it pretty basic with just some background music, so let's just hop into the game. I'll cut to that part. Okay, so we are in game. As you can see, there's some background music, there's some footsteps, quest none, there's some effects and stuff. You can already see a ruined portal over there. You can interact with it. We have a little sound effect as well. Oh, brave knight of Exion, please, you must help us. Player, what happens? Where are the runes? The runes were stolen by a bunch of thieves, causing the equilibrium to shatter, creating rifts in space and time. Please, great knight, get our runes back to where they belong. Okay, I will do everything in my power to return the runes. Thank you. Please bear in mind, when stepping into the rifts, space, time and reality itself will be shattered. You may see the impossible. Be prepared. So that pretty much just explains that, gravity, all of that stuff will be very wacky and it will not be correct. So if we step in here, we load into our first level. So, find the 3 runes, that's our quest. Currently I have 0. So let's start doing some parkour. Go over here. So pretty much in the game, you always want to go up. It's very simple, it should be fairly basic to understand. The game does kind of naturally lead you towards it. During the playtest, people had no issue finding that out. I'll just show off the fire enemy as well. If you stand in it too long, it will reset the level. There you go, I've collected the rune, it goes up. And now we are in the second level. This is where it gets a little bit more difficult with some moving platforms. Still not so difficult though. Gotta get on this one. Let's look, I'm going to this one. Should be able to reach that. Yep, there we go. Over to this one. Not gonna interact with the fires. Go to this one. Go up here. Go into this platform. Boom. Second rune found. This level is where it becomes pretty difficult. I'll just show the mechanic here. I'm only gonna press space. And you see I'm being pulled towards the black hole. And now I'm moving actively this way, so I can try to avoid it. So yeah, whenever you are in mid-air, you will be pulled. So this level does become quite a bit more difficult. I did do a lot of balancing changes to make it a little bit easier for the average player. It should land me here. So I'm gonna go a bit more left, so I can get on top of here. Let's try to land on this. This is where it gets really difficult, because it's very difficult to get away from it. Okay, land at that one. Land on this. Try to get up here. Come on. Yep. There we go. Because I'm right above the black hole right now, it's really hard to kind of progress. Ooh. Okay. This one. Perfect. Very hard to get out of this. Okay, there we go. Can I skip the car and go in there? Ooh, I missed it. Oh, that does show the mechanic that it does reset. Also, if you just fall down, there's also a kill entity thing. So you just restart the level when you fall down. Here we are. Managed to make it. Grab the last rune. Go into the black darkness. And we are back to the hub. Look around, you can see gems have been restored. Quest has been updated to get back to our ship. Could talk to the NPC again. You did it. We put the runes back where they belong. Axiom is safe thanks to you. People will never forget this. Thank you. With my job done, I will send back into the greatness of space to guard once again. Let's go back into our UFO. And then it's just a simple thank you for playing. With after putting the runes back, you went back onto your ship, watching over Axiom as Guardian once again. Thank you for playing. Here's my self-assessment. So for the first part, challenge is progressing throughout the game. It is. It does get more difficult due to me introducing different types of enemies in each level. The final user test shows a proper analysis of the game and offers improvements in future designs. It did. There was a lot of testing, especially on the third level, in which I improved things like the gravitational pull and how that enemy type kind of works. And how it made the level at first very frustrating to play, but now it is not nearly as frustrating, but still a little bit difficult to get used to. For the second point, mechanics are functioning well and relative for the narrative. Yeah, all of the mechanics that I wanted in the game are there. They kind of explain that when the runes get taken, reality itself shifts and it doesn't work like it's supposed to, and that is reflected in the game. But all of the objects having a different skill, having different gravity types, that sort of stuff. Goal, conflict, and team are clear and relevant to the game. Yeah, it's a pretty simple story that I made, as I did not have a lot of time. But I think it's all very clear and pretty relevant to the game, as both shown by my playtests. Visuals clearly fit well within the story and theme. The layout is clear, making sure the player knows where to go. From my playtests, people did know where to go. It was very simple. They just kind of, at first they always walk forward, so I just built the level around walking forward and then having obvious jumping platforms that go a certain obvious way, kind of in like a spiral staircase, kind of every time. It was very straightforward. People understood it well. Consistency, hierarchy, color, and fonts are correctly applied. The game constantly uses the correct font, the same font, same UI, so all of this should be consistent. The UI and UX fit the narrative and theme. It's a kind of a futuristic, Guardians of the Galaxy inspired game in a weird way. Kind of Outer Worlds too. So I think it fits the narrative quite well. I obviously made something that's a little bit sci-fi-ish. So yeah, I think that fits. And I do think it not only fits, but I do think it enhances the theme a little bit. Hence why I kind of went on the double here. So I would put this at a good. Seamless loops, a well-balanced mix showing competent editing and implementation skills. Just very simple things. All of it does work. I don't think it's super high sound quality or like a perfect mix balance, but I did use the Unity mixer to make it work correctly, like how we're supposed to do it. Audio generally fits the visual narrative, enhancing the gameplay experience without overpowering the visual elements. I would say that's just sufficient. I don't think it's a fully immersive game that's super emotional or anything, but I do think it fits the elements of the game. These are the 4 students I have tested on a bit of an earlier build, back when not everything was made proper, so the UI was lacking, was very basic. It was just kind of text and not a nice font, and also the 3rd level was not well balanced, as I said before. And they wanted a little bit more explanation with one of the NPCs to explain kind of what the world does, which is why it's here. Alright, I would like to thank you for listening, and I hope you liked it.